My name's Chris Nichols. I'm from the big metroplex of right outside Dallas, Texas. I'm a physical education teacher in Garland ISD. This is my 23rd year of teaching. I've done various things. I've been in administration. I've been at the largest elementary school in Texas with 1,200 students, 120 kindergartners at one time. So if you ever want to experience something like that, go to Texas, because everything's bigger in Texas. And I just moved to a smaller district with only 300 kids, so I am living the dream now and not having to sit at a desk. So we're kind of moving the sessions around. So I was going to do this session tomorrow, but we're going to do it right now about cooperative and project-based learning. Now, I talked to a lot of you before we started the session about at the end, somebody's going to win all the equipment, and then somebody's also going to win a $100 Gopher card. And at the end, Bree will be passing out those things over there. So hang around, and we're going to go through this quick, about 20 minutes, and we're going to use this little activity space here because everything now we're trying to do is cooperative and project-based learning. So what I started years ago is using Chinese jump ropes. If you've never used Chinese jump ropes before, they're in the Gopher catalog. They come in different sizes, 8-foot, 16-foot lengths. And when you order the pack, it also comes with a wonderful 1980 video if you're in the 80s like I am, they have on their jean shorts and the clothes from the 1980s. So when you show the kids this video, they're like, what is that and who wore that? We did in 1980. So, but that video comes in there. And what we do with this is first, I'm going to show them the video and let them see the kids do that activity. After that, I created my own templates. And these templates are patterns that are right off the video. So this is the very first pattern they learn is called Americans. So if I can get 3 volunteers up here, 2 people to be my enders. Yes, two to be my enders and 1 to be my jumper. Let's use the 16-foot so we can spread out.
I don't want to be the jumper.
Oh, he wants to be a jumper. I need 2 enders then. He wants to be the jumper.
All right, let's see what happens.
Ender,
Here.
ender. All right. So here's the difference. Maybe we need the 8-footer. All right. So the first thing you're going to tell the kids, and remember, I teach elementary, so I'm at a school now with 3-year-olds. So I go 3-year to 5th grade. So we've got to teach them where they're going to hold the rope. You guys are all stars. You've already got it right where you want it. We want the feet shoulder width apart. So, and what I do is I laminate the cards. And then one of the enders' job is the card holder. That's later in the lesson. But Americans, and I'll show you real quick on there, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, in, out, in, on. So that's not the right pattern, but right there it is. So he's going to do 4 straddles to a count. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, in, apart, no, apart, stay, keep your feet inside, apart, in, and on. All right, give him a hand, way to go. All right, now because we're cooperating with him and he's so excited, he gets to go to level 2.
Oh my.
So level 2, the rope goes to the calf level.
Okay.
So they go up a level, and now he's rocking it at level 2. Same pattern. Here he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, in, out, in, on. Oh, he missed. We're giving him a good hand for that. Now, if you do miss, this is how you change. And believe me, teaching 3-year-olds how to change the Chinese jump rope, it's very interesting. So this is how we want them to change. So they never have to take the rope off their feet. So it's continuous. And then I would take the pattern card, and then we would keep the rotation going. So that's the first pattern that we teach in the very basic one. Now we're moving on to next level here. And all these videos are in there, and I just created my own pattern card. So this time it's 1, 2, 3, 4, in, out, crisscross, on. So you got to cross the rope. He's got it. You're looking at him here. He's going to nail it.
Okay.
All right, 4 straddles. And I got music on to give the kids a beat. 3, 4, in, outside the rope. Cross the rope. Cross your feet like this. Oh, like this.
How are we doing?
Like this.
Oh, okay. Cross my
Then uncross.
Yeah.
and then on. Perfect, way to go, way to go.
It's tricky.
And if he gets that, we go all the way up. With my 5th graders, they go all the way up to level 4, which is hip level. He doesn't have to do that. I don't want you to injure yourself. There's too much equipment around here. But anytime you miss, the kids are just rotating out. Yeah. Yeah, well, the kids can. We can't when we get a little older, but the kids can't. So, oh, look, he did it. There he goes. There he goes. No, don't go there. But you did it. Let's give him a hand for that. There. All right. So now, here's where the project-based learning, and there's about 6 or 7 patterns here. So then the kids get a sample here of how to create their own Chinese jump rope pattern. And you can pass it around. I made a few copies, and that's what they're holding right now. So they get in their groups and they get creative. Her group were the Cheetah Girls. The Cheetah Girls. I think that was a 4th grade group. And then here's one of my 5th grade group, Scissor Cross, and I'll pass these around. And this is all student generated work. And then I display them for parent night, but I also cut them, and then you go around to each group and you demonstrate your pattern to every other group in the class. So I'll pass around some student generated work on that. So that's where we get the project-based learning on that there. And so there's the template that I just created on a spreadsheet there. And then the kids just filled out themselves. And you can see on some of them, they got really creative. And I'm like, prove it to me. How can you possibly jump, land on your knees, and then do a handstand? And they're like, okay. Then they readjust a little bit. But that's one of my favorite things, Chinese jump rope for project-based learning. Like I said, all of that comes in a kit. If you don't have the Chinese jump ropes, then you can go old school. This is a lot harder for elementary kids, is getting the jump bands on their legs. So let's show the difference here between jump bands and Chinese jump ropes. And here, this is where the kids have to actually get it around their ankle. So it has to go around like that. And make sure you don't cross. You got it on the same foot? All right. And then on the jump band kit, they've already pre-made the cards for you, so the patterns are in there. But jump bands have a whole different aspect to it because the enders are now having to count with you while you're doing their patterns. And so, it's just like Teninkling, except every time I've done Teninkling, somebody gets hurt. I mean, to be honest, because they always step on the PVC pipe, and it either breaks them or breaks the PVC pipe. So if we're doing Teninkling with jump bands and they step on this, I'm not worried about them or an injury. Now the problem with this is we can't do levels, and the kids love the levels. You know, that's the whole thing about, oh, I'm on level 3, I'm on level 4. I mean, they're calling your name all day long. Look, I'm doing level 4 right now. So, but that's the difference in that. So if you do Teninkling, this is a safer alternative that I would recommend instead of that. And all that comes in the kit. So you can go ahead and take that off, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so here's a picture of how I post it on the wall after we do it in the gym. So I'll have it up for family night, and I keep it up for the kids to see. I just had my family fitness night, and I had all those on the wall, and I had all the Chinese jump ropes laid out, and the students would go around and show their parents how they did their patterns. So, and we took a picture of that and posted it on there. All right, going on to my next project base, and these are the FitStep downloadable ones, but I have a whole bunch of some of the original FitSteps that are not downloadable. And what we did in this project is the kids wore them for 1 week. I gave them to their classroom teacher. They wore them for 1 week. They took it around. They took a 3x5 Post-it note, and they recorded all their data points on that Post-it note. At the end of the lesson, the teacher, classroom teacher, took this and had them sorted. This is a 3rd grade example, least to greatest on their note card, and then they brought it all back to me and showed me how they broke it down in math form with their classroom teacher. So these are some of the original FitSteps. This example here is the newer ones that are downloadable. skip the slide there. All right, another way, one school, one book. How we tied into project-based and cooperating with teachers. We just finished our Jump Rope for Heart unit at my school. And this is our school librarian. So we came up with the idea how to create one community, one school, one book. So she took the book from 50, 60, whatever this book came out, and they made a movie of it too, How to Eat Fried Worms. And we checked out a copy to every classroom teacher, and they read that book to every class. During the Jump Rope for Heart Challenge, I set a goal of $8,000, and if they raised their goal, then I was going to eat a fried worm. Well, I just did the math last week, and we finished at $9,883. So next month, I'm going to be eating fried worms. Yes, two worms. But it was amazing how we tied in the whole school into literacy. And the kids coming up to me and going, do you know, in chapter 5, Billy put horseradish on the worm. How are you going to eat your worm? I said, well, you haven't got to the goal yet, so right now I'm not eating a worm. So it was just constant every day until I did the final total. And so we've invited the American Heart from Dallas is coming to the worm eating. We've invited the superintendent and library services and all that. So we're going to make it a big deal, and I will let you know what worms taste like, because right now I've never tried one, but a kid did come up and do some research on their own, and they said, do you know a worm has 5 hearts, so you're going to be eating 5 hearts. So I was like, oh, thank you for that. I really wanted to know that. All right, going to another Gopher product, the NutriPlay food bean bags. This is my art teacher. So what I did, went to Walmart and bought the cheap plates, gave it to the art teacher and said, could you have them create their own My Plates? And so the students in the art room went in there, and these are some examples of them creating their My Plates. Now, if you've ever seen the NutriPlay bean bags here, so I just brought 2 from my school, oatmeal, and then each one on the back is color-coded to fruits, grains, whatever it fits in the cycle. So, and this NutriPlay comes, I don't know how many, I mean, it's like 100 bean bags, I think, in a set. And I just throw them randomly out in the gym. And then the kids get their plate that they've created, and they're going around like they're shopping, and I keep them where they can't see the colors, where they have to identify what it is, and if they still have confusion, they turn it over and look at it, and they put it on their plate. Now, in order to get to the grocery store and get checked out, you have to have collected one of each food group. Now, also, we put pennies on some students, and they're the junk food taggers. So if a junk food tagger tags you, then you've just lost all your healthy groceries, and now you have to start over shopping again. So, but if you do and collect all your ones, you go to the checkout stand and they check, yeah, you got all of them, and then that person gets your plate, and now they're the checkout person. So, but that's how I cooperate. We do projects with the art teacher. And then on one last thing before we get to the pull tab. We're a magnet school. We're rolling out a Montessori program. So in the Montessori program, they create their own work plans. So on this work plan here, here's an example of a 4th grade work plan. So they've got cardiorespiratory endurance, muscular strength, muscular endurance, flexibility, and the unit we were working on this week, badminton. And so they're going to put down their work skills on what they did for this week. So this girl wrote on there that we did FitnessGram last week. So she said, I took the pacer test for my cardio. Muscular strength, she said, I've been working on my curl-ups and push-ups. Muscular endurance, she said, I've been working on my curl-ups and push-ups. Flexibility, she said, I've been doing the shoulder stretch. And then for badminton, we do the 2 skills we were working on last week were pop-ups and flip-flops. So she wrote down on here pop-ups and flip-flops. And this is her work plan that she has. So, and I also have an example of what one would look like in the classroom, where they have it as practical life, history, and what they're supposed to do. Because if you don't know a lot about the Montessori, it's it's the work is set to how they are going around the classroom. So it's more about, more project based, because we're looking at this and going around and see, okay, well, this girl, I brought this as an example because she rocked it. I mean, this is exactly what we were working on, and she got them all in the work plan. So that's how I do that at my campus with all the art, everyone else, and there's many things we can do now for project-based learning and tying into the core curriculum. So any ideas that you have, I would love to hear from you. And we're going to give away this equipment here. Bree is going to come around and pass out some cards. Does anybody have any questions about what we do in Dallas, Texas?